18M. My parents found out I have a girlfriend. 18F. And they demand that I end it. Plus update. I've been with my girlfriend for a little over a month. She's the first girlfriend I've ever had. Prior her I had only kissed one girl. I'm from a very religious and conservative background. We are Christian. My parents are church elders and the word of God is absolute in our household. Growing up wasn't allowed to date girls. If I had done and they found out, there would have been hell to pay. That hell has finally materialized. I'm fortunate that I'm away at university. I'm not even in the same country as them. I'm from Kenya, but I'm studying for my undergraduate degree in the United Kingdom. I only arrived a couple months ago. My girlfriend is from Norway. We stay in the same dorm. I'm very shy and introverted, and when I arrived initially, kept to myself. She is like the total opposite of me, very confident and extroverted. She would drag me out of my room when I tended to isolate myself, forcing me to interact with other people and to explore. One thing led to another, and we started dating. These last few weeks have been the best of my life. Honestly, I've never been so happy. My girlfriend is beyond amazing. Like I wrote, I come from very strict and religious background, an upbringing that didn't allow dating or sex before marriage. I lost my virginity with my girlfriend. Initially, with my faith, it was difficult to reconcile with, but I realized I couldn't live in my parents' shadow forever, and I'm now content and at peace with it. However, it's not so simple. My parents found out about my relationship. Before coming here, they were clear that dating was off limits, that it was something I should do only when I graduate. They found out about my girlfriend and I because of Facebook. I was tagged in a photograph by a friend we were kissing. The pic went onto my timeline and someone from my church back home saw it. That person told my parents and it was game over. Dad called me in a rage. What made the picture worse was that it was taken in a bar. I don't drink, but that night, my girlfriend and I along with a few friends went to a bar. They were drinking and I wasn't, but the table we were sitting at was filled with alcohol, and because of that, my parents also thought I was drinking. Oh man, I caught so much hell. They have demanded that I end the relationship. They made me feel like the devil. They wouldn't even let me explain or get a word in. They said if I don't end it, and if I don't stop drinking, they will turn their backs on me. Update. My parents recently gave me an ultimatum: break up with my girlfriend or face them turning their backs on me, prompting me to drop out of university. They are very conservative and religious Christians, and they said I should only date when I'm done with school. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to date at all. Prior my first girlfriend, I had only kissed one girl. My parents have always been very strict and unrelenting in what they think is right and what they think is wrong. Sex before marriage for them is an absolute no-no. I'm from Kenya, but studying for my BA in England. My parents found out I had a girlfriend due to Facebook. Yeah, I learned from that mistake, big time, and they flipped. My dad called me and told me to break it off, or else they would stop paying for my BA, and I'd be forced to drop out and come home. Initially, my plan was just to lie them they are thousands of miles away, and with me being much more savvy with FB privacy settings in the aftermath of what happened, the chances of them finding out I was still with my girl were slim. However, that didn't come to pass because I got very pissed off by what my dad demanded of me. He required physical proof that the relationship was over. Over the weekend, he called and demanded that my girlfriend should record a video of herself, saying it was over. I'm a shy, reserved person who has always been obedient to my parents, but for the first time in my life, I stood up for myself. I've never spoken back to my parents before, but on that day, I did. I told my dad that he wasn't living in the same universe as everyone else and that there was no way I would humiliate and degrade my girlfriend in such a manner. That such a proposal was insane. He then started screaming and shouting at me, characteristically so. I cut the line. He tried calling again, I answered, and he continued shouting. I told him I wouldn't talk to him until he started acting in a civil manner. I hung up again and didn't respond to his calls. He then sent me a string of angry messages, saying he will stop paying for my tuition and that I'm not his son anymore. My mom called me a few hours later and she imitated my dad's angry rhetoric, but I calmed her down and we spoke. I told her that I absolutely love her and my dad, and that I'm grateful for everything they have done for me in life. But I stress the fact that I'm 18, I'm a man living in a completely new country, absorbing a completely new culture, and making my own way in life, and that I'm old enough to have a girlfriend. I told her my girlfriend makes me happier than I've ever been, that she got me out of isolating myself in my room during those first weeks, when I was too shy to meet new people and make new friends. She continued to object, and went to the extreme justification of her reservation's pregnancy, going so far as asking whether we had slept together. I told her that respectfully, it's none of her business. After that, she hung up on me. I didn't hear from my parents until yesterday. It was my mom. She said she and my dad will continue paying for my tuition, but that they are very disappointed in me, and they regret sending me off to Europe to study, that it was better for me to go to a Kenyan uni. She added they raised me to be a better man, and that the path I'm going down isn't right. I was planning to go to Kenya for the Christmas break, but with the way things are, I don't think I will. My older sister lives in Seattle, and she said I'm welcome to stay with her over the Christmas break, but that will probably be too expensive of a proposition for me. My girlfriend is Norwegian, and she said she would love it if I spent Christmas with her and her family back in Norway. Her parents would be cool with it. Norway is a much more realistic destination for me. It's much closer than the States, and thus much cheaper.